Ladies and gentlemen, over here in Pakistan, we do love cricket. Everybody loves cricket, but not just that. There's an entire legacy of squash champions that Pakistan has
Exactly.
produced. And if we are to kind of go back in time from 1967 till 2025, we've actually won 23 World Squash Team Open titles, and the last was in 1992. But no, it wasn't the last one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the last actually came up in the name of Noor Zaman, who actually clinched the Under-23 Squash Championship title against his Egyptian counterpart in DHA Karachi. Noor, assalamu alaikum, congratulations. Thank you so much for making Pakistan proud. How are you feeling today?
Thank you so much. First of all, thanks to Allah that once again I make Pakistan a world champion after a long time. And this is all about my hard work and dedication and discipline. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Noor. First of all, and obviously without discipline and hard work, it's not that easy to clinch a title. But first things first, you made sure that Pakistan will be actually crowned as the Under-23 squash champion. That's something that I would want to kind of speak about. How was it for you to kind of get into the court and make sure that you defeat your counterpart, that too, especially when you were 2 love down?
Yeah, in the final, I was two love down, and after two love down, when I came out after the court, so I was thinking in my mind that Noor, what did you past hard work, 3 4 months hard work for this event, and go to the court and play your game. Don't go for win or lose, just play your game. And when I started my game, then Alhamdulillah, today I'm a world champion.
Alhamdulillah. And Noor, in addition to this, I think what I would want to kind of speak about over here is that, because that's one thing that I've witnessed myself. So imagine that if I'm a cricket lover, if I'm going to go play cricket, once you're in the ground, you really do not have that much of mindfulness to yourself. There's pressure, there's nervousness, there's so many things which actually come to you. So how was it for you when you stepped into the court for the final? Was there nervousness? Was there a lot of pressure on your shoulders? How was it? Take us through the journey.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure because all crowd was Pakistani was supporting me, and the court was in the Pakistan, the championship was in the Pakistan, and the match between Pakistan and Egypt. Nowadays, Egypt's are all in the top. They are all the world champions. So there was a lot of pressure, and Alhamdulillah, I go to the court and beat Egyptian. There's a very hard time that time because I was too love down and there was a lot of pressure and all were cheering for me and this, yeah.
Exactly. I've
I
got
know.
Eesha over here who actually wants to ask you a question
Yeah,
as well. So, Eesha, go ahead.
thank you so much for so candidly explaining your experience. And your opponent was actually ranked 55th in the world, while you were ranked 68th place in the world, right? So tell us about how your coaches motivated you and anything specific that your grandfather said to motivate you during this time that led to your victory.
This is all about hard work. My grandfather did a lot of hard work with me. When I was 7 years old, he took me to the squash, and that time I don't. To be honest, I don't like squash. When I was 6 7 years old, he did a lot of hard work with me, and today, what I achieved because of my grandfather.
Exactly.
Right.
That's great as well. But Noor, where you said that, initially when you were 6 to 7 years old, you used to accompany your grandfather and he used to teach you and you didn't like squash. So when was that time in your life when you actually started liking squash? Because imagine that, where the entire event was taking place, Jahangir Khan Sahab was over there as well. A lot of international community was there. Pakistan was hosting, the Under-23 finals squash championship. So how was it for you to kind of in life realize that, hey, you know what, I've got the talent, now I've got the interest as well, and I'm going to work this way? Or was it only for your grandfather?
Yeah, no, but to be honest, before the match, Jahangir, I was talking with my grandfather every day. He was sitting outside of the court. And before the match, Jahangir Khan came to me. He said that play your game. For a long time, there is no world champions after me and Janshir and your grandfather. So there is a golden chance to achieve this title. And Alhamdulillah, I achieved it. Yeah.
And how do you feel after achieving this title? You know, because you've crowned Pakistan with the under 23 squash championship. So how do you feel? How does your family feel? What about your fans all over the globe? You know, so was it overwhelming for you to realize, hey, you know what, finally I've made it, Alhamdulillah?
Alhamdulillah, I was feeling too happy, feeling good because after a long time, I make Pakistan once again a world champion, and because of my mother, my father, my family, all and fans' prayers and their support. From their support and prayers, Alhamdulillah, I become a world champion.
Exactly. And you know, we talked about the winning aspect of this part. So what happens actually behind the scenes about how you trained, how mentally, physically you put in all this effort? Please tell us how you put in effort and trained.
I'm training from the past 10, 12, 13 years, but when the World Championships comes, I get a chance to play this World Championship. So from the January, February, March, I did a lot of hard work, a lot of fitness, no junk food, no cold drinks, nothing. Because of this discipline, this hard work, this fitness, Alhamdulillah, I achieved this title.
MashaAllah. And now finally when you have won the title, so are you going towards fast food or not? Or are you having soda drinks and whatnot? Are you getting back to that?
Yeah, when I won the World Championships, then I drink one 7 Up after 4 months with beef.
The reward after winning that title.
Yeah, exactly. But not just that. I think that the story is obviously not going to finish or end over here. So what are your aspirations for your future? What are you planning to do now? What is your next goal? And how do you think Pakistan can actually support you and be at the back?
This I won the under 23 World Championship, and after this I am playing a Senior World Championship, which is held in the Chicago, USA. End of this month, I am going to USA to play Senior World Championship in Chicago.
Wonderful. And so, you know, finally, because you back to having soda, so that was the only soda I bet, you know, because now if you're going to travel towards Chicago towards the end of this month, you really need to get back to your routine. So how is that routine? And, you know, when you're traveling, when you're going abroad, you know, so how long does it take for any athlete to kind of accommodate or kind of attribute to the characteristics of the environment that they have right next to them? So how do you kind of make sure that, you know, that your travel, your jet lag, everything kind of settles in before you are out there to perform?
This is very hard because every in month you travel around 3 or 4 times. Sometime USA, sometime England, sometime Egypt, sometime South Africa. So this is very hard because there is no somewhere no halal food. Accommodation is very expensive. A hotel is expensive, food is expensive. But to be honest, I will give a shout out to Pakistan Squash Federation and Pakistan Air Force and Air Marshal Zahir Ahmad Babar sir that they are supporting me a lot. From their supports, I become a world champion today, and my grandfather and my family.
Yeah, and Noor, that's exactly what I wanted to ask, and that is that, you know, for you to kind of pick up on squash, is it a very rewarding sport, or do you really have to struggle to get the sponsors on board? And finally, Alhamdulillah, you brought Pakistan, you know, on to #1, you know, where under 23 squash championship, it's not, you know, an easy task for anyone to have achieved. So is it difficult? Do you think that, you know, it's not as rewarding as it should be?
Yeah, the squash is very expensive game to be honest. One racket is around 70 to 80,000. So Alhamdulillah, I have racket sponsor from London, but I will say to Pakistani sponsors that give sponsors to the youngsters players, and because they are doing a lot of hard work, they are achieving for Pakistan. They are achieving gold medal, and Alhamdulillah, I'm a world champion. So I will say to the sponsor that give support to a youngster that they will make Pakistan proud in future, inshallah.
Exactly. Inshallah. Thank you so much, Noor, for being with us. It was wonderful to be in conversation with you, and thank you so much for making us all proud. We can't keep calm because Pakistan actually happens to be the under 23 squash champion now. Wonderful. All thanks to you, to your family, to your grandfather, to your coaches, to Pakistan Air Force, and everybody who's contributed towards this immense success that Pakistan was able to get through your hands. Thank you so much for being with us.